This week in Baltimore Eating with me, Richard Gorelick. Hey, join me here every Thursday at 12:30 to talk about everything food-related in Baltimore. This week in Baltimore Eating is brought to you by Eddie's of Roland Park, providing last-minute Rosh Hashanah catering, including roast brisket, glazed corned beef, kugel, and store-baked desserts. Pleasing everyone might not sound easy, but invite Eddie's to your gathering, and it can be. Call the catering department today to place your order or explore the menu at eddiesofrolandpark.com. This week in Baltimore Eating, I'm joined by Cookbook author Julia Turshen. Julia, hi.
How are you doing?
Welcome. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I'm
Happy
fine.
New Year.
Thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy to be here.
Julia, you have a new cookbook.
I do.
It's so exciting, and it's so, y'all, beautiful.
Thank you.
I really love it. I want to tell you a few things that I love about it in a second, but explain, if you will, it's in your foreword or introduction, what the concept and origin of the cookbook is. You did a really good job there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so the book is called Now and Again. It's all menus and then ways to reinvent your leftovers from the menus. It started off as a book that was just going to be about leftovers, just about reinventing them. I was going to call it It's Me Again, which I thought was the funniest thing. But then I felt like that wasn't enough. I wanted to give you kind of the full picture, not just the after. I wanted to give you the sort of before, during, and after. So it evolved into all my favorite menus, including Rosh Hashanah, which you just mentioned, and really simple recipes to make those menus and those meals, and then really fun ideas for the leftovers.
Menu-based, because I think you said that you hear that a lot from readers, that they're challenged by. That's a question you get a lot. What do I serve with that? What do I make with that?
Yeah. So many cookbooks you see, and I've written many of them. They're standalone recipes. It's here's this one item, here's this one dish. I love the kind of stories a menu will tell, the sort of relationship between dishes, and they can be really simple. A plain salad with something, a loaf of bread, but just creating that whole story, that whole experience. You're
a funny writer too. You did something
thanks.
that really made me laugh so hard. I almost need you to read it out loud. No,
Okay.
It's in the it's an autumn menu. I love also that the book starts in autumn. I think I would have loved that anyway, even if this weren't almost autumn right now, because to me the New Year, well, of course, the Jewish New Year is autumn, but to me it's always back to school is this time of year.
Yeah.
Is a new year. But it's something you wrote on a recipe for garlic and anchovy butter toast. The first line. Can you read that out loud?
Sure. Yeah.
Out loud, just the first sentence.
The spread for these toasts is basically Caesar salad dressing in butter form. I mean,
And
exclamation
you had to
point.
I mean, because I talk like that all the time, especially about something like garlic and anchovy butter toast. How great that is. I mean, and you had to figure out how to write that with the ellipsis and exclamation point. That's exactly how I would have done it.
I wish I had you sang it and you could press play in the book. That would have been better.
And then let's just live in the Rosh Hashanah menu for a minute.
Happily.
I don't know if I can find that easily, but I also love that your chicken recipe, it's celebration chicken with sweet potatoes and dates. How you say that is a kind of a play on a very famous recipe. And I thought that recipe was well known. It is well known, isn't it?
I think so. I think it's...
Let's say what it is.
Chicken marbella, which I feel like has been on most dinner tables in this country for the last, 20, 30 years.
From the Silver Palette.
Yeah. I think it's one of the most beloved recipes, and it's one that I have just admired for its, longevity and how many people have made it and how many people love it. And I think part of that is because it's really delicious, and B, it's really simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll add a third thing in. It's beautiful too.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. It makes it look like you've made dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And not everything achieves that. Like, I made dinner for you and you're my company. What else was on the Rosh Hashanah menu?
So the Rosh Hashanah menu has that celebration chicken, so inspired by chicken marbella, and you just mix like a cut up chicken, which you can get at the store, sweet potatoes, dates, a little olive oil, vinegar, garlic. You mix it all in the roasting pan. You don't need a bowl or anything. I'm very interested in as little cleanup as possible. I am very much a home cook who writes for other home cooks, so I'm always thinking about dishes. So it's that. It's a baked saffron rice. So it's a large pot of rice, and you do it in the oven so it cooks evenly, and you get no like undercooked inside, burnt bottom, like none of those issues. It's just even and easy. And then a really simple and very beautiful beet salad, the poppy seed dressing, and then
Beautiful.
for dessert, my favorite applesauce cake with a cream cheese frosting.
That applesauce cake is so beautiful. And you drop nice little tips and hints and conversational asides in here, even like on the sidebars about that the applesauce can be store-bought.
Of course,
perfectly
yeah,
fine.
totally.
People don't have to kill themselves.
No.
And learn how to make applesauce for one recipe.
No. Yeah, I think, cooking for someone, just as you were just saying, it's, it's such a nice thing to do. It's such a gesture of love and caring, and you don't have to do everything. It can be really simple.
I love that it would be like if a good friend was giving you a recipe and giving you little editorial remarks. If you just got here, you're watching This Week in Baltimore Eating with me, Richard Gorelick, and my special guest, Julia Turshen, author of Now and Again, Go-To Recipes, Inspired Menus, and Endless Ideas for Reinventing Leftovers. Since we're on this menu, what were some of the leftover
Some
ideas?
of the leftovers.
Yeah.
So that the celebration chicken with the sweet potatoes and dates, that I suggested turning into what's kind of known as a coronation chicken salad, which is, I feel like, the most
Yum.
popular chicken salad in England. And it's, with a bit of spices that you normally find in curry and stuff like that.
Perfect.
Yeah, and you can add the sweet potatoes to it. It makes it really substantial. And then that, if you have leftover rice, mixing it with a little bit of cheese, putting it in a halved bell pepper and roasting them like stuffed peppers. I feel like there's a kind of like 1980s theme to this menu, but
stuffed bell peppers.
I'm into that. And that beet salad, you can just puree it, dressing it all, and then you get this beautiful beet dip.
A beet dip. That sounds great.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I almost just inadvertently turned to the Thanksgiving page, and you do something else that I like, which is tell people what to do a couple days ahead.
Yes, yeah. Every single menu in the book has a little timetable. So if you want to work ahead, you can. You don't have to, but if
Right.
you want to, certain things you can do a month ahead and freeze them. Certain things you can do a few days ahead. And I just believe so strongly in the home kitchen being a place where you can be relaxed. I think a lot of people feel very overwhelmed and stressed, and you don't have to be. And I think one of the ways to not, it's easy to say don't be stressed, but here I'll actually give you some tools to help you feel that way. So one is just getting started ahead and, crossing things off your list.
Julia, I love that idea. People, we don't know you too well. I mean, I don't know you. I love meeting you, but we went so far into this book that we didn't really introduce you.
Oh, that's okay.
And you live in Maine?
I wish I did. That would be beautiful. I live in the Hudson Valley. I live
Okay.
about 2 hours north of New York City. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I went to summer camp in Maine.
I don't know where I got Maine from.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
like it from. And who do you cook for on a daily basis?
I cook on a daily basis for my wife, Grace. And, well, we have dogs and a cat. I don't really cook for them, but we feed them. We scoop their food from them.
I like that. Hey, I have to say that This Week in Baltimore Eating is brought to you by Eddie's of Roland Park. Receive a store-made European apple cake from Eddie's. Yay! Free with your High Holidays catering order of $75 or more. Just show the coupon from Eddie's of Roland Park ad inside the September issue of J-More. J-More, now on newsstands. Be sure to comment, like, and share, and follow us at hashtag #JMoreEating. Did I see Card Night?
Card night.
Yeah,
Yes.
tell everyone about what
Sure.
Card Night was.
Yeah, one of the menus is for what I kind of affectionately call Card Night. And 3 of my best friends, we have this ritual, I guess, of we used to get together in each other's apartments and play cards. Like we were kind of 4 much older ladies than we are. And we started off, the 4 of us, we used to all live in New York City, and we would go meet at different restaurants, and that became pretty expensive. And also, you can't really linger in the way you can at home. So we started cooking for each other. We started playing cards to kind of make those evenings last a little bit longer. And so one of the menus is sort of I would say kind of a love letter to that group of friends.
Let's see. We're going to try to get this on the right camera.
Ah.
How's that looking?
Oh, here. I have one too.
Perfect. Okay. I just want to see people see
Thank
what it
you.
looks like.
I'm going to open to a page to show you how pretty the illustration
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, and I've been telling people the gingham spine of the book. I aspired to match my dish towels.
And there's a range of. I like that there's a range of difficulty or just challenge with the book. There's some recipes that take some time and investment of concentration.
Sure.
But
yeah.
there are also some very simple recipes like just assembling a lunch for your family.
Yeah. And anything that is time consuming, for the most part, you don't really have to be there. Like things you can leave in the oven for a while, stuff like that. So it's really, I think the recipes definitely have simplicity as a thread, but they're, hopefully also really interesting and appealing.
Right, we want people to toasted coconut cake.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I
one
love
too.
that recipe.
That
it's
is
so good.
You said it was two recipes sort of meeting each other.
Yeah, it's sort of a mashup between kind of a traditional coconut cake and kind of an angel food cake, and there's some whisked egg whites to kind of lighten it a bit. And I love coconut cake. I love coconut anything.
And there was another side in there too, like I think you have to do 2 mixings of sugar in that recipe, but you gave some good advice about why you shouldn't cheat on that one.
Yeah, there's throughout all the recipes, my goal is to always anticipate any question you might have before you might even know you have it. So I want to keep everything simple, but if something requires an extra step, I think very hard about whether it's worth it or not. So in that recipe, you add the sugar in 2 different areas because the sugar kind of helps to stabilize those egg whites when you beat them. But there's also some in the batter. And so I kind of walk you through why, because there is a temptation, I know, when I cook to just dump it all in. So I try to do as many of those recipes as possible, and then when I think it's really worth it to add that extra step, I'll include that. So.
Thank you. Like I said, it's like having a good friend give you a recipe and
you.
standing by your side and helping you through it. And I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate that about the book.
Thank you.
Look for this book. Now and Again is the main title. The subtitle, Go-To Recipes, Inspired Menus and Endless Ideas for Reinventing Leftovers. Beautiful photographs, we should say, by David Loftus.
Yeah, he's great. He was so fun to work with.
And Chronicle Books is a publisher. It's available now.
Yeah, anywhere books are sold.
I think this would make a great gift. I also think it would make a great hostess gift or host gift. So if you're showing up for a holiday party and you bring this gift, you will be making a great impression.
I love that idea.
I'm so hungry right now. I have to tell you.
Mission accomplished.
Julia, you also give, I believe I saw this in your book, some upfront information about what you should invest in for your kitchen and what.
Sure, yeah.
I like to think about sheet pans. Let's just do sheet pans.
Yeah, I love sheet pans. I think there should be in every kitchen.
And it's confusing. I remember buying sheet pans, and they're called half pans.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, is
It's
this
very
what
confusing.
I want?
Yeah.
But it is what I want.
It
I
is.
want something called a half sheet pan.
Standard home ovens accommodate a half sheet pan, a half size sheet pan. The full size is for a commercial oven, which is huge. I mean, you could put, that could be your kitchen table, like a full one.
And there was even something confusion about how the dimensions are listed for a sheet pan.
Some people measure, because there's, a little a lip on them, a rim, which is great because if you have some liquid or something, it catches it. So some people measure the whole thing. Some people just measure the interior of that. It's like unbelievably confusing for a really simple thing.
And I never know what to spend on a sheet pan.
Yeah.
Should be spending $15, $30, or $80.
I'd say 15.
Yeah.
They are not expensive. You can get them at restaurant supply stores. You can, order them online. Just stainless steel. They'll last forever. And I use them not just for cooking things. I grill all the time. So I carry them in and out with food. If I drop it, it's not going to break. It's, I love them.
And they can get gnarly looking because they're hidden from view.
The gnarlier, the better.
I like it. So let your sheet pans get gnarly.
Yeah.
Don't spend too much on that. Save that for something else.
Absolutely.
Buy a microplane for grading. It's been so much fun, Julia.
This
Anything that I
flew
didn't
by.
ask that we want to tell people?
No, I'm just, it's thrilling to talk about it, and I appreciate it.
Well, Happy New Year
Happy
to you.
New Year.
What are you cooking? Do you do break the fast or do you observe that?
Yeah. I mean, bagels, smoked salmon.
Yum.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. Get recipes and food features in the This Week in Baltimore Eating newsletter, delivered weekly to your inbox. Go to this web address, jmoreliving.com/newsletters, to sign up for that newsletter, which is called This Week in Baltimore Eating. Thank you to Julia Turshen for being here today. Tell us what you've been making for the high holidays and how you like to break the fast. And search for our virtual cookbook at jmoreliving.com/virtual cookbook for more high holiday recipes. This Week in Baltimore Eating has been brought to you by Eddie's of Roland Park. Home is where the challah is. Hey, what are we doing next week? Regular back to normal with Amanda. We all miss Amanda. From savory beginnings to sweet endings, Eddie's has the flavors every guest remembers. For a holiday that tastes homemade, don't wait a minute longer. Find menus and ordering information at eddiesofrolandpark.com. Now and again, Julia Turshen, thank you so much.
Thank you.